Coach, this time of year in Philly, you know what to expect. Cold temps, and we've got them. But the skies are clear tonight at Lincoln Financial Field. The scene a few moments ago, here it is. It's unlike any other in sport as both teams made their way out of the tunnel. These folks are fired up as their guys are ready to do battle between the Detroit Lions and the Philadelphia Eagles. The holiday season is upon us. We've got the gift of the NFL as we're underway here in Week 16. And that'll carry over the back line of the end zone for a touchback.
Here we go, set, 60 Pittsburgh. No getting on this defense, no getting. Watch twist. Go.
On the ground, this is Isaiah Crowell. And not much to speak of. Call it a 1-yard gain up to the 26.
Well, we saw him there trying to get it to the outside, trying to get to the perimeter, but not a whole lot of room there. But there's got to be one positive to that. If you keep moving laterally, creases tend to develop as the game moves on, and they can run it back inside later.
Throwing deep for Galladay. And that's caught inside the 30. A big play there for Detroit. 46 yards. All right, Charles, let me put you in the head of one of those defenders out there. You have a big play like that go against you so early. What does that shake your confidence?
It shouldn't, but it often does, because your thought process all during the week is how you're going to get after that offense and make your plays. And when they make one against you, it makes you a little bit hesitant.
Time to regroup. Here's a throw out line complete to his running back right side. And he went backwards. He'll be down at the 30. The defense showing some anger after giving up the big play. This time they'll lose one or two. 2nd and 12 after the first down pass play went backwards for 2 yards.
Hey, Charlie.
Here we go on 2nd and 12. And nearly an interception here on their opening drive. But instead, 3rd down. We documented it last week. They played so well defensively. 4 interceptions. Tried to get their hands on another one there.
And when you've had 4 the previous week, you are just itching for more the very next week. And there was a great opportunity. It went by the wayside. But let's not underscore what's going on with this defensive unit. They are around the ball every time it's being put in the air.
Back to throw. Into double coverage, and it's intercepted. Picked off at the 23. They are in a zone. Remember, folks, 4 interceptions for this defense a week ago. First drive, make it number 5.
And the focal point will be the people who pick the ball out of the air. But let's not forget, to make that happen, there has to be an excellent pass rush, terrific coverage where they are plastered to the receivers, and then, of course, taking it away, making the catch, and going in the other direction.
Wentz and the Eagles now with a 1st and 10 at their own 23. A big-time gain there on the keeper, using his legs to hurt him. 1st down.
First play of the drive, a 1st down run. Well, that sets you up for whichever way you want to go. Do you come right back and run the football again because you've got them on their heels? Or do you play chess match with them, break tendency, and go play action?
And his first carry, he loses the football. And this is scooped up by the Lions. And he returns it into enemy territory down to the 45-yard line. And in this very cold night air, how much harder, Charles, is it to hang on to that football?
It's a lot harder, and I know for the most part we think about a ball being slick when there's rain or snow, any type of moisture. But when it's cold and dry like this,
it is cold.
And it is cold, it's also slick that way because you're not able to really grip it the same way. Your hands are cold, and then the hits seem harder. So, yeah, it's a lot more difficult to hold on to the football, which means you have to emphasize it that much more.
Wind chills right now, 12 degrees. Throwing to start the drive, but that one incomplete. Isaiah Crowell, the intended target, and it's 2nd down.
94.
2nd and 10. too much this time. Down he goes.
They just gave up a sack there, and if I'm not mistaken, they gave up 4 last week, didn't they?
Yes. And just looking really porous, aren't they?
They really are, and I'm wondering if they're going to have to start thinking about keeping the tight end in, maybe a back, someone to help assist, because right now, the quarterback's been getting hit a lot in the last couple of games.
Now on 3rd and long, they'll look to throw. That's caught by the big tight end, T.J. Hockenson. And he'll get it down on the play to the 37. They'll wind up with 17 on that one, but they're still a bit short here for 4th.
Boy, they had a lot of real estate to make up there, but what a big-time play for them. Nice completion, excellent gain. Now they're in 4th and manageable.
Just a little short, though, with that marker. And this is right down the middle as he puts it through. And the Lions are going to take a 3-0 lead. And with that last field goal, that puts him now at 300 made on his career, and that is something to celebrate.
And that puts him in the top 30 all time. So he's really made a mark, and he's got plenty of life left in that leg, that's for sure.
And the decision to bring it out is going to cost him about 7 yards all told as he's taken down back shy of the 20. The Eagles offense set to begin their next drive. So, Charles, the season winding down, the playoffs obviously not in their futures. They look ahead to the offseason. What spots do they maybe need to fill?
Well, I think that they like the guy who's calling the plays and throwing the ball. I think that he's a pretty good player. Needs some help, I think, on the perimeter, though. Help him out with receivers, because I think if he gets an upgrade there, his play gets that much better, too.
23 yards on the play.
That's good for an Eagles first down. First and 10 at the 40.
One play has him up past the 40 already, and ananother 1st and 10.
I got you, son. Check 31, check 31. Slam, slam.
Here's Wentz to throw. Looking downfield for Godwin. And that will be incomplete. Would have been a big hitter if they had connected. Instead, it's 2nd down. And this passing game's whole offense really didn't show up in the loss last week, and it hasn't started all that great here either.
Yeah, and they can't let that incompletion become an uh-oh moment. Like, oh boy, here we go again, just like last week. Each game is its own entity, treated as such.
Here now is 2nd and 10, again from the 41.
Tight dog, tight dog, tight dog.
They'll try a little trickery here on the end around. I don't think anyone in the building fooled right there, as that one is going to blow up in their faces. It goes as a loss of 6. And now 3rd down.
Here we go, Pac-Man. Waiting. 82, 40. The mic, boy, 51. They gonna need some therapy after this. Hey, wahoo! 51's the mic. Hey, come on out here. Come get some. Come get some. Come out here. Come get some. He don't want it. 82, 82. Here we go. Here we go. Wait, look.
On 3rd and long, it's Wentz. Looking downfield for Godwin. And that will be incomplete. Well, they weren't scared to let it fly, but it falls to the ground and brings up 4th down.
But that certainly looked like something that they discussed all week in practice getting ready for this one. Take the big shot right out of the gate. At worst, you'll open up the defense a little bit, loosen them up, have them back on their heels.
And well done here. That one will kick out of bounds at about the 8-yard line. The field position game, such an overlooked facet, Charles, of an NFL game, but this offense, they're going to be pinned back. What an ideal punt.
An ideal punt, and it leads to that term complementary football, because them doing that puts their defense in a great spot, doesn't it? Gives them a chance. If they want to be aggressive, try and maybe get a safety out of this whole thing, it puts them in that position.
And he'll get it up a little shy of the 15. They'll spot him down at the 14-yard line. Charles, Thursday night game, I think a lot of teams probably say shrink the playbook somewhat. Is that correct?
I think you're right about that, because you just don't have the amount of time that you have in a normal week to put in a full playbook. So as you said, you shrink the playbook, pick out the plays that work best for you. You know what else you're looking for? Who are the freshest guys coming off the last game to play on a Thursday night? Guys have a little extra pep in their step. You go to them early and often. Anytime a ball's thrown in the middle of the field and it's popped up in the air, I expect someone to catch. It doesn't matter whether it's offense or defense because there's usually a great amount of bodies in that part of the field. In this case, no one came up with it.
They'll look to throw here. Nowhere to go here. He lost the football.
On plays like this where the ball comes free, it's often unusual for the team that lost it to get it back because this is a quarterback. The ball gets away from him. Everyone else is trying to execute what they're supposed to do on offense. They're usually looking in the other direction, downfield, or have moved away from him. In this case, though, a teammate is able to come up with the ball.
Officially just 27 yards there on the punt. And the Eagles will have great starting field position here as they take over. So here's a 1st and 10 at the 38. Gurley. He'll be hit down at the 33, 5 yards on the play.
Despite the blitz, they're still able to pick up a nice solid gain. The disadvantage of blitzing often alters the normal spacing and run fits and leaves creases like they were able to exploit right there.
The first down run got 5. Here's 2nd and 5.
Here we go.
Here's Gurley now out of the gun. And a pretty good run as he'll get this down close to a first at the Lions' 29.
One thing to keep in mind, partner, especially in the second half, when you've got a running back of this size, of these dimensions, I can just tell you, attrition does set in for a defense because you're excited about hitting him in the first half. Maybe not so much in the second half, and some of these shorter gains turn into bigger runs later.
And they'll let their fullback try and push the pile.
3rd and inches, just turn around, hand it to the big guy, and let him plow forward and pick up a first down. A lot of people think that the offensive line, they may almost take the play off because they got a big guy back there pushing forward. I think it actually works in reverse. I think they block harder because they love seeing that guy get the ball because he doesn't touch it very often.
Stopped at the 24-yard line after a gain of 5.
And that's one of the reasons you like to blitz even on rundowns. It confuses the blocking assignments. It doesn't allow those offensive linemen to get up to the second level.
Four receivers to keep tabs on here. 3 of them to the right side on 2nd and 5. Now this time, Wentz will throw. Buying time to his left. He'll try and run it. 7 yards there and a first down. Three 3-0 after 1 on EA Sports. The Eagles into the red zone for the first time. They've got a 1st and 10 at the 17.
Hatch it.
On the toss, it's Gurley. And he's eaten up at the line of scrimmage. Might have gotten a yard down to the 16.
I like the call. Inside the red zone, running the toss. Why? They want to get to the edges. They want to see if guys who don't normally make a lot of tackles are willing to actually do that. That usually means the guy's in the cornerback position.
Now they'll throw it. Wentz. His throw caught right around the 6. And they corral him just a couple yards shy of the end zone. Sets him up nicely. 1st and goal. It was a pickup of 14.
First down. 1st and goal at the 2-yard line.
They'll come out in the pistol.
Bring it.
Shotgun now for Wentz. And that's going to be caught for an Eagles touchdown. J.J. Arcega-Whiteside, his second touchdown on the season. And the Eagles have taken the lead. Elliott good on the extra point, and that makes it a 7-3 lead. Now after the touchdown, here's Elliott on to kick it away.
The Lions take over first at their own 25-yard line.
The Lions offense ready to kick off their next drive. It's been very much a slow start for them. 3 drives and just the 3 points, CD.
Yeah, if you're into the points per drive ratio, that answer is 1. And that's not going to get it done in a ball game. They've got to find a way to finish these drives in end zones, not having balls go through goalposts.
And from the 25, they work this to the 29, a gain of 4.
They'd love to just strike back with a touchdown right here, and if it's a long play, so be it. But the main goal, get a couple of first downs, run some plays, run some clock, allow their defense to get a chance to catch their breath, settle down, and relax a little bit after they just gave up a score.
2nd and 6. It's caught by Crowell. 5 yards on the pickup, and that'll bring up a 3rd and 1.
And we see another pitch and catch there to the running back. This position just continues to evolve. They become just as critical to the passing attack as a lot of receivers, tight ends, because their ability to make people miss in the open field can really generate big plays for an offense.
They'll look to throw for it on 3rd and 1. And that is incomplete.
Not only was the call spot on, how about the execution of that defense right there? Zone was absolutely locked up tight. He was trying to force it in there on 3rd down.
But if there's a time to force it, he felt like he needed to make a play, right?
Yeah, exactly right. 3rd down, you got to try and find something. There was nothing available there for him.
On is the punt team now as this one's sent away. And he'll go ahead and field this at the 5. They'll call that a punt of 59 yards. Tough to do better than that. And the Eagles will have it, taking over 1st and 10. Already at the line, this Philly offense set to go. And that last drive was very, very balanced, pretty methodical. You think they go there? And down he goes. They bring down Wentz on the sack. They couldn't contain Deshaun Hand that time as he gets home for the sack. Great job defensively. I think he was trying to go through his progressions, find someone to get rid of the football. Before he knew it, he was on his back.
So that just brings us right back to what you said in the beginning. A great job defensively. Nowhere to go with the football. That led to the sack.
Got to assume this defense will be charging again here. It's 2nd and 15. They run. It's Gurley. And a short gain here across the 10 to the 12. He'll get 2 yards back, but it's going to leave him with a long 3rd and 13.
But we just saw a great example of what we talked about with his coach prior to the game. He's definitely one of the better linebackers at reading a play and flowing to make the stop before it turns into something big.
And the Lions going with an extra DB here on 3rd down.
58's the Mike. 58's the Mike. Here we go. 58, right over there. Yeah. Mike, 58, right there. 81. 58's the Mike. Hey, zoom. I got one. And 58's the Mike. Go 58's the Mike.
From the gun, it's Wentz. And he fires one that's intercepted. Picked off by Will Harris. And he will take this down to the 10-yard line. Unfortunately for him, if last week was any indication, we knew a pick was coming at some point. Last week it was interception after interception, and here we go again.
We actually quit counting last week at a certain point because I thought I was going to run out of fingers, right? Because I'm not all that skilled as a mathematician. But you're right. It felt like a matter of time, and you got to think the guys on defense, they couldn't wait for this opportunity after what they saw on tape.
Now left side on the swing pass. And they'll lose yardage here. They go backwards to the 13-yard line. Call it a full 3 yards in the wrong direction there. Brings up second down. So first down went in the wrong direction. They're at the 13-yard line. Here's second and goal.
Hey, high 7. 53, Mike. Here we go. 53's the Mike. 53.
Second and 13. He's got his man. This is Jackson. And he'll be brought down here at the 3-yard line. A 10-yard completion, but still now facing third and goal.
I think a lot of people ask the same question all the time. Why do we see so many slants in the red zone? Well, the windows are tighter. Everything's more condensed. It has to be quicker, and you've got to deliver the ball on time. Your biggest worry, ball gets tipped in the air, because if that happens, then it's fair game for the defense.
On the ball. 2.
They'll look to throw. Looking end zone, but it's incomplete. So they opted to pass for it on third and goal. Let's see what they do on fourth and goal.
Well, I think they threw it with the idea that if they didn't get it, they would go for it on fourth and goal. So they've got another play in their pocket. They're going to have to call it right now. No field goal here.
And the 13-year man puts it through, and they'll get it back within a point at 7-6. They got the interception, but very little movement after, and that forces him to settle for 3. And it does feel like settling when that happens, doesn't it?
It certainly does, but we got to give a lot of credit where it's due, and that's to the defense, because they ran onto the field. This is what we call sudden change, right? Interception, you've got to go put out the fire, and they did, holding them to a field goal.
The Eagles offense set to begin their next drive. And following the interception, just any interception, are you a little bit more cautious when you start that next drive, or no, you just throw that out the window?
I think you are. I don't think that there's any way you can run back out there and go, totally didn't affect me. Let's just go ahead and be loose with the football again. You're going to take care of it, but you have to be careful about being too cautious, because now you can't run any offense at all.
Still want to attack. We'll see how they attack them here. Well, they had the run for no gain. Now they'll try again from the 25 on second and 10.
Turn up. Kill. Turn up. Check.
On play action, it's Wentz. Looking downfield for Godwin. And that'll be incomplete. Good protection that time, and they couldn't hook up on the long one. Now it's third down.
Well, nearly another interception there. That would have been 2 drives in a row with a pick. He's got to start taking care of the ball way better than what we're seeing.
Interestingly, that throw was probably worse than the one he threw the interception on last drive, but fell incomplete. The Eagles on third down, just 1 for 3 thus far. This is third and 10.
Go.
Working from the gun, Wentz. It's caught, Jones. And he's taken down, but able to slip across the 35. It's a gain of 13 and a first down for Philadelphia.
I think it all came together there. In-breaking route, drove it with excellent pace. Money throw right there to move the sticks.
So here's a first and 10 at the 38.
Mike 51. Great 15.
Now a play fake. Wentz. And he finds a man with a crossing route. And he'll be out of bounds just shy of the 40. Chewing up big yardage. Another nice gain there. This one goes for 20. They don't need to run another play here before the 2-minute warning. Let's see if they do it anyway.
We want it. Come to my world. Black. Check 24. 58 for Mike. 58.
Play action. Now Wentz. He finds Taylor. Complete.
That's it, baby. That's it. Big hit.
coming up at the half. A reminder, we go back to Orlando to check in with Jonathan Coachman. He'll have a look back at our first half as well as a look ahead to what's coming up later this weekend. And he's going to be brought down by the face mask. Here come the flags. This is going to get him a first down. And now it's 1st and 10. A big mistake, especially when you factor in the personal foul yardage. Following the penalty, it's Gurley. Gurley's got the first down and then some. And down to the 16-yard line. Philadelphia picking up the first on a gain of 15.
Tremendous blocking by the interior of the offensive line. They didn't just gash him there. They blasted a gaping hole for him to gallop through. I think if he comes back to the huddle, he better be giving them a whole lot of credit and thanking them for that much space to rumble.
Gurley again here on first down. So he got free of one tackle but couldn't do a whole lot else. And Justin Coleman brings him down.
Brandon, all things considered, they have to feel pretty good about getting that type of a gain considering the blitz that they just had against them.
The run got 4. Now they deal with a 2nd and 6. Throwing now is Wentz. This will be caught at about the 6. Well, the stop will come inside the 5 at the 4. The Eagles going to take the first of their timeouts as the clock will stop with 55 seconds to go until halftime.
Bring it. Go. 180. I got it. Double time.
On 1st and goal, Gurley. And he's in. Touchdown, Eagles. Todd Gurley. His 9th touchdown of the season. And the Eagles able to push further out in front.
And that lead is now 7 with a chance to go to 8 or more if they want to get crazy here, which we don't expect. But I just know the way the game's being played with the analytics, there's going to be a lot more of going for 2 in a lot of situations, isn't there?
Yeah, there's going to be. And I think their focus here, they don't want to give up anything going into the lockers on the other, and just a little bit of time left on the clock.
Yeah, they don't want to do anything to erase the good feeling they have right now by getting this late score in the half.
And he's able to get it across the 20, but not by much, as he's marked down at the 21-yard line. The Lions offense ready to kick off their next drive. Inside of a minute left in the half, does the fact that you're down on the scoreboard influence what you do, or I guess don't do on this final drive?
It certainly does, but what influences me even more is who I've got running my football team out on the field and the weapons around him. Can he make a play? Can he get into someone that we're going to trust to take care of the ball? If that's the case, I might push it a little bit here and try and get something before the half runs out.
2nd and 5. He'll get this one to Galladay. And he'll get it up near the 35, right at the 34 here. The Lions now going to use the 2nd of their timeouts as they stop it here with just under 40 ticks to go in this first half. From the 34 now, here's 1st and 10. He'll look to throw. Open man is Galladay, complete. And he'll bring it up here to right at the 40-yard line. 6 yards was the pickup on the last completion, so here's 2nd and 4. 2nd and 4. Quick hitter here, it's complete. Now a signal and a timeout call as it comes with 9 seconds to go in this first half of play. The Eagles call on the extra defensive back here as they prepare for a stop on 3rd down. He'll look to throw. And this is incomplete with a clock showing just 3 seconds left. And likely time for one final play here in the half, so they will go for it on 4th down. And they're going to take Timeout defensively. So with 4th down coming up, they go ahead and burn it and say we'll see what happens. So 3 seconds here remain in the half. On is the field goal unit to see about getting 3 points. And supreme confidence in the kicker turns to supreme failure, as that is obviously no good. So that would have been something from that distance, but to no avail. Comes up empty as we have reached the intermission. As we'll send you down the coast now to Orlando, that's where we find Jonathan Coachman, ready with our EA Sports Halftime Report. Coach. This will be taken to the back of the end zone. And no run back here. This will be a touchback, and it comes out to the 25-yard line. Already at the line, this Philly offense set to go. They have the lead. Now they'll be looking for some separation here as we begin the third quarter.
I like the way you termed that, because now I think they go a little bit deeper into their playbook. They like what they did in the first half. That worked okay. But in order to get the separation that you just talked about, change things up a little bit. Change your tendencies. Try and hit them a little bit more with some things they didn't see in the first half.
Let's see if they do just that. One play has him up past the 40 already, and another 1st and 10.
I'm going to run you over. Hey, kill. Hey, Ford, don't kill. 58, come on. Hey, Orbit. Come on. Here we go. 58.
Now Wentz. And his throw is incomplete. He was looking for Todd Gurley. That'll bring up 2nd down.
All right, that one fell incomplete there, but the best quarterbacks, they'll miss on 40% of their throws, somewhere in that neighborhood, similar to a great hitter in baseball who's going to fail 7 out of 10 times and still have a great year. In this case, you want perfection, but way better that it hits the ground instead of going to an opposite color jersey.
Pretty good running there, 9 yards. Sets up a 3rd and 1.
I thought that was a good call. Passing situation on 2nd down. They hit him with a draw instead and pick up nice yardage.
Yeah, because the draw, they're thinking pass when they see that initially defensively, right?
Well, you know, in today's NFL, most of the time on 2nd and long, when it's a passing situation, pass rushers are on the field, and they're only thinking one thing, get to the quarterback. And oftentimes you can bypass them with a running play.
Now Wentz. Under a heavy rush, and down he goes. Trey Flowers, it's his 20th sack of the season as he continues what could be a record-setting campaign. The Eagles send out their punter now as he'll kick it away for the 2nd time. And he'll get this away into the icy winter air. And that hits at the 6 and carries into the end zone for a touchback.
Their own 20-yard line.
The Lions offense ready to kick off their next drive. They trail offense, first time to touch the ball in quarter 3, and we'll see what they can do.
And I can't wait to see what they have planned, because some teams script to start a half. Other teams just go, okay, these are the sequence of plays we want to run. These things worked well for us. And sometimes they throw in that big chunk play right away.
Shocker.
Try and get after them early and try and create a big play to give themselves some momentum.
See what they have up their sleeve. 2nd and 3. And his throw here is incomplete. Kenny Golladay, the intended receiver, and it's 3rd and short. He shook his head right when he released that throw. He knew it was going to be a little off target.
Yeah, the excitement got him on that one. Wasn't able to control the fact the receiver was open, and it would have been an easy throw.
So the incomplete pass on the last play, and that leads us to a 3rd and 3. He'll drop to throw. And this time he's got the hook up. It's complete. And they get him down, but not before he takes it across the 40-yard line. It's a gain of 14. And a first down for Detroit.
First down, Lions.
Set, ready? 60 outlaw. Number 53, Mike 53. Come on, baby. 61, matchbox, lights. Get it.
A first down carry now for Crowell. And 3 yards there takes him to the 45. You know, despite the scoreline, I think they've got to like where they are here. They're on the road and just one big play away from getting right back in this game.
I'm going to follow right along with you because the spot they're in now is a credit to their defense. They've kept them in it by making the plays that they've made, and that just means you're one big score away from being right back there.
Now, the question is, can this offense step up and make that play? Because that's been an issue for them in this game. Now this one over the middle into the hands of his tight end, complete. And he has another first down as they'll get the ball down to the Eagles' 41-yard line.
Sometimes the most effective routes are the ones that you run in the backyard. You probably ran them when you were 5 years old. How about that little curl there against zone? But the key to it is finding the open spots in the zone. How a linebacker or a defensive back will widen to give you space.
Under pressure, and he will go down. Sacked back at the 46. Fletcher Cox has now recorded 10 sacks on the season. They're in some hot water now. After that sack, it's 2nd and 21. Looking to throw. Into a double team, and it's intercepted. Picked off near the 29, and they will take over at the 29-yard line. Just a little bit of a rough stretch. 6 interceptions now in these last 2 weeks combined.
I know the easy thing is to go back to mechanics, footwork, things of that nature. I'm also wondering, is he getting fooled by what he's seeing on defense? Has the scouting report changed? Are they showing him things different than what he expected? For the second week in a row, he's throwing it to the guys in the wrong color shirts.
Yeah, he better figure, whatever the reason is, he better figure it out. It's an Eagles first down on a gain of 11. And a nice little broken tackle run there by Todd Gurley, the 10th pick in the 2015 draft.
And that's what you get with him, that full package of speed, power, able to catch the ball in the backfield. Many people doubted him coming out because of the knee injury in college. We're seeing the full Todd Gurley now, and it hurts.
And they'll get this well past midfield before being stopped just before the 35. 23 yards, the final tally.
An ex-teammate used to tell me all the time, I hate experienced quarterbacks because no matter what, you really can't hide what you're doing. And I think that right there, he knew right away where the blitz was coming from, where his primary guy was going to be, and he ended up going to a secondary target for a nice game.
I was just going to ask you, that wasn't the primary target. He's so good at that, isn't he?
I think he knew right away that he wasn't going to get to his primary guy. I think he read that as soon as he got to the line of scrimmage, knew where the pressure was going to come from, and said, I know how to beat that, and that's what he did.
Line of scrimmage, again the 37 as they line up 2nd and 10. Here's Gurley. They get 6 here after the incompletion, and it'll leave them with a 3rd and 4.
And there we saw one of the downsides of blitzing during a rundown because sometimes you get out of your gaps. You don't fit the run quite as well because you're headed towards the ball carrier with abandon.
Waiting. Check pass. Check pass. Switch it. Switch it. Switch it. Come on, switch it. Shit.
Wentz now to throw. Rush coming, and he's taken down.
Well, that play was the very definition of fast, quick, and in a hurry. Suddenly, he was there.
Yeah, blink of an eye. That happened fast and a big sack. And this one is no good. He missed it. And this score will stay right where it is.
Well, this winds up an empty possession. Everything looked okay. He just never got the ball on target. And knowing him, he'll be disappointed with that effort.
The Lions offense ready to kick off their next drive. We have not seen much on offense from either side. These last few drives, it has been a struggle, hasn't it?
Totally, and you're thinking to yourself right now, if you're on offense trying to get things figured out, okay, we self-scout every week in our game plan. How many things do we do at certain times? What are our tendencies? Time to go to some of those tendency breakers and try and create some offense.
They always have those in their back pocket, don't they?
You have to, and if you don't keep abreast of what you're doing, you lock into a rhythm and make it easy for the opposition.
Looking for tendency breakers right now. This quarterback now, 5 straight completions here in this second half. 1st and 10. Crowell. And that play going absolutely nowhere as he's belted before he could get out of the backfield. They'll wind up losing 3 yards here. And it'll bring up a 2nd and 13.
Here we go. 70, Indy. 53, Mike. Get that quarterback. Hey, team 6. 53, Mike. Go, 53 is the Mike. 53, check 53. Let's go.
Now back to throw. And that's going to be incomplete. A lot of contact, no call, and it's 3rd down. An incomplete pass on that last play, and that means they'll need to come up with something here on 3rd down.
Hey, exit. 53 is the Mike. Hey, 1-5.
They'll set up to throw. And that is incomplete. Oh, he had a defender right there with him to force that to the ground. And 4th down now coming up. They'll try the field goal now with Graham Gano. From the left hash, it's an even 50-yard attempt. And this one looks good. It is good. Right down the pipe. And the drive will wind up yielding 3. So it's a 3rd field goal for him now. He's accounted for all 9 points. I look down to the sideline, though. You can just tell they weren't too happy for 3. They wanted 6.
So they have to have 6. Look, he's keeping them afloat, but they really need to do exactly what you talked about. They need to get into the end zone and score some touchdowns. Otherwise, he's going to have to kick a lot more field goals than just the 3 he's already put through the posts.
The Eagles offense set to begin their next drive. Last time out, they had that long 50-plus yard field goal that they missed.
And I'm sure on their sideline they're thinking to themselves, okay, do we still want to try one if we're in that position again? And I would dare say that the answer is...
And he is going to be taken down. And that should be the final play of this third quarter. Jake Ryan able to record his 5th sack of the season. And welcome back. We are in the city of brotherly love, Philadelphia. It's the Eagles in possession of the football and leading this one as we get ready to start the final quarter. Pass protection has been a problem all night long as they come up facing second and a bundle. And now a fumble. The ball's out. So they escape, so to speak, maintaining the football. Defensively, though, opportunity miss.
It definitely was, because that's all defenses talk about. Getting the football and either advancing it the other way or just getting possession and turning it over to their offense. That can be a little bit deflating. You're exactly right. A lost opportunity.
Kill.
Now this time, Wentz will throw. And they'll set up the screen to Gurley. And he'll wind up losing yardage here back at the 21-yard line. A loss of a yard, and it brings up 4th. I hate to surrender the football when you're nursing a slim lead, but they're going to have to punt it away. Trust that defense.
It's the right play at this stage of the game as well. You don't need to press it here because you do have that little bit of a cushion, and you count on your D to make it stand up.
Fielded at the 20. A good return there, 17 yards. And the Lions will take over. The Lions offense ready to kick off their next drive. And fortunate to get points on the board last time. They had to hit a really long field goal to do so.
The kickers in today's game are so good and so skilled and hit from distances that we almost start to take them for granted. And we can't do that. That's a long field goal that they got 3 points.
And for a third time tonight, he's intercepted. Picked off by the linebacker, Nigel Bradham. And they have the football and will set up shop at the 33-yard line. That's now his 2nd interception in as many weeks from his linebacker position.
And think about all the different techniques he has to employ in a passing situation. Is he spot dropping because it's zone? Is he picking up man-to-man? Is he having to run with a running back or a tight end? In any event, great eyes, head on a swivel, and excellent hands.
Yeah, versatility and showing those hands. And he's going to get a solid gain of 9 before being brought down. 2nd and right at a yard. And I'm guessing you'd say this is kind of the key here. Grind out some yardage, work on that clock, see if you can continue to tick it down.
Definitely. You want to bleed things out at this point, right? Continue to possess the football, gain some yardage, and put the onus on the defense. Do they have to use timeouts? What are they going to do to stop you? You're taking charge.
And he'll get it out to midfield. Let's see, yeah, they'll spot it right at midfield at the 50. That one, a first down pickup of 8.
He's still rumbling, isn't he? Still looking fresh in this one despite the heavy workload. But you and I both know, well-conditioned, and he did tell us that he thrives on being at his peak late in ball games.
So on the heels of the run by Todd Gurley, another 1st and 10. From midfield, here's Wentz. That's complete to his receiver, Godwin. And this will leave him a yard short. Nice pickup of 9 yards on first down. Give him 9 there on the first down completion. That last catch short of the marker by just a yard leaves him with a very manageable 2nd and 1. Stepping up, he's going to keep it. They'll get 3 as the drive continues. It's a first down.
And what a weapon to have when you can use your quarterback as a short yardage runner and pick up first downs.
1st and 10 at the 38-yard line.
So signs of life in what's been a dormant offense in this second half. Here's 1st and 10.
Jumper. flag. Come on. Kill. Hey, Alpha. 51's the mic. 50's
to throw is Wentz. Oh, he's going to let this go for the end zone. And that is incomplete. Showed off the arm strength there, but to no avail. Second down.
We've seen good cover skills on display throughout this game, really from both teams. And there's another nice example there of them making it difficult to complete a pass.
They work again from the 38 on 2nd and 10. They go jet sweep. This is Taylor. And he's going to have to protect the football and take his lumps here at this stage of the game as they stop him behind the line. That'll be a loss of a yard, and it leads to a 3rd down.
Brings up 3rd down and 11.
The Eagles on 3rd down, lacking much success, just 2 for 7 to this point. This is 3rd and 11.
46 down, man, 5-4. 58 is the mic. 58 is the mic. And we got to get to the ball, team. We got to get to the ball. Let's keep moving. Convert. Check out.
Now Wentz. And the throw there going to be incomplete.
Even without a ton of pressure in his face, it just shows how difficult it is to pick apart his own defense. Those guys are sitting back, and they're not playing receivers as much as they're playing the eyes of the quarterback and when he delivers the ball.
A 57-yard attempt.
And this is good from 57 yards out. That was bombs away right there. And from a defensive perspective, though, I think maybe they're saying, hey, we did what we needed to do, kept this a one-score game.
Yeah, without a doubt, because they were able to bleed some time off the clock, right? Put themselves in a good position, but it's not out of reach yet, okay? Being able to hold them to a field goal means that they do have a chance to come back and win this game.
And this return net's positive as he gets past the 25 and up to the 27-yard line. The Lions offense ready to kick off their next drive. And last time, 1-play interception. So this offense, they should be fresh.
That's a good way of putting it. And I can't wait to see what they decide to do with play calling. Because a 1-play drive where you throw an interception, a lot of people think the very next time out, run the football, don't give them a chance.
Maybe play action?
I think maybe you go play action, show your quarterback, you get a little confidence in him, and let him fling another one.
So 1 play, and they're already just shy of midfield.
Right here. Switch. 80 weapon. Look, squeeze. Snap.
A shotgun handoff now to Crowell. Now they're able to swarm him behind the line, and his rough night continues. He was brought down by Kamu Grugier-Hill.
I call that play a success. A nice inside run sets up a very manageable 2nd down. A very solid gain on that play.
Chopper!
They'll run it again with Crowell. And this time not as successful as he'll get back to the line of scrimmage and no more. They'll say no gain on the play there, and now it'll be 3rd down. The Lions on 3rd down. Just 1 conversion in 8 tries. Not good. This will be 3rd and 5. They'll set up a throw. He's got his man, T.J. Hockenson. And he has another 1st down as they'll get the ball down to the Eagles' 21. And at this stage, down in the second half, looks like they just wanted to find a way to get it in the hands of their playmaker, and they did.
I think you're exactly right. I don't think the coordinator's looking at his play sheet and trying to figure out which play will work well. He's trying to figure out how to get the ball to the playmaker that you just described. Looking down at that sheet, you find people plays, not necessarily X's and O's, and that's exactly what they did there.
So the Lions in possession of the football as we welcome you back. They come up on a 2nd down now in a game that looks like it's going to go down the wire. Back to throw. Being chased out left. And he can't get a throw away. He's taken down. That's number 4. Sack number 4. They had 4 last week, so he's been down on the ground a lot.
Partner, they say the eye in the sky does not lie. And that's indeed the case because they watched the game tape from the previous week, incorporated it into their own defensive scheme, and continued to get after this quarterback.
And now this defense will be searching for sack number 5. He's back to throw, and that is incomplete. Figuring they're going for it on 4th down. Remember, though, they do have all 3 timeouts, so even if they don't get it, all is not lost.
Yeah, normally in this situation, when you're talking about having to go for it, everything is in this play. But as you noted, with those 3 timeouts, they actually have a little bit of a safety net.
Hey, dude. 53 is the mark. Damn. Christone, travel. Switch. Hey. High 7. 53's mine. Check, 53's mine.
The Lions will use the first of their timeouts as they stop it prior to what will be an important 4th down. One score down. Here we go. They're going to go for it here on 4th down.
Check. You draw quarter. Go. 53's the mark. 53. Check 53. You ain't going nowhere. Let's go. Hey, we got Mike, number 53.
They'll look to throw. And no, it's incomplete. They had to go for it with such little time remaining. And the Eagles defense able to hold.
Result of the play is a
Check.
They'll try and start the drive with Gurley. And he'll be upended after a gain of 5, up to the 25-yard line. Good gain there on 1st down. It keeps them in a running situation, probably.
They did everything right on that play, didn't they? They got the leverage up front, good blocking, nice hole for him, ends up picking up nice yardage, stays in bounds to keep the clock rolling. They are in charge of this scenario right now. They want to stay that way.
And not in any rush offensively. And he'll get this from the 25 to the 30 for a pickup of 5. After a gain of 5, they'll wind up being about a length of the football short here on 3rd down.
Here we go. 120. Check in. He can't hang. He's not going to get me.
So it's a victory here for the Philadelphia Eagles, and they were spurred on by a strong performance in that 4th quarter as they held their opponents off the scoreboard.
Everyone wants to pitch a shutout for the entire game, but when you throw one in the 4th quarter, that tells everyone that you're getting stronger and dominance is starting to take over, right? The way that you close, the way that you finish, that gets preached to you from the time you're playing Little League football all the way up through, and they closed them out with a big-time performance down the stretch.
So for the Eagles, it's a good 5th win for them as they play out the string. And they'll get a few extra days to get ready for next week. Meanwhile, for the Lions, things get even uglier now as they fall to 2-13. And they'll get a chance to redeem themselves at home.